Hi everyone, John Davenport here from photogrammetry.com with another Let's Edit video. I just want to start off with kind of an announcement. I've started writing for digital photography school on a more regular basis, so if you're familiar with that website, you'll start to see more posts from me there. As a result, because they have a certain amount of posts that I am supposed to write each month, it's going to be a little bit more hectic for me to try and get these videos up every week. I will do my best, but if it goes to every other week, don't be surprised. Another reason that might happen is because, we've already done, this will be the 20th video in this Lightroom series, and Lightroom is a pretty in-depth program, but I've covered a lot of it already. So I encourage you to watch those other videos if this is the first time you've seen my channel, and over time I'll continue to add stuff, especially if people ask specific questions as to what they would like to learn in Lightroom. Now, I'm still using Lightroom 4. Lightroom 5 has just been released. I'm still debating on whether I want to upgrade or not. From 4 to 5, it's really kind of a minor update. There's some cool things there, but Lightroom 4's doing a really good job for me right now, so I'll probably stick with that, at least for the time being. Now, going forward with this particular Let's Edit, what I'm going to talk about today eventually is going to be the lens corrections tab, which is down the bottom here. But before we start with that, we need to get this image to the point where we can actually play with that. So one of the things I'm going to do is drop in a gradient filter here, and just kind of clean up the sky a little bit, something like this. And then actually, before we do that, let's just get an auto exposure here, and then go back to my graduated filter or gradient filter, and then fix the sky a little bit, maybe add a little shadow detail here. You can really make the clouds pop with a clarity slider. You can add some vibrance if you like. So just some basic stuff here just to get the image a little bit more balanced. And then in the basic tab here, you can play around, add a little more contrast, maybe some blacks, add a little more clarity to the overall image. You can play with the white balance a little bit, something like this. And one other thing I want to do, you can see here, I actually moved the bench to create this scene. When you're out in, photographing, don't be afraid to, modify the landscape, within your ability. If you don't like where the bench is pointing, move it. If there's some litter in the ground, you can pick it up and move it out of your frame. Those small little changes can make a huge difference in your photo. So moving on now, the last thing I'm going to do before we go down to the lens correction tab is just a quick crop, something like this. So it's a pretty good image so far, but with the lens corrections tab, you have a little more ability to kind of control the distortions and how everything works. Now, Lightroom does have some built-in lenses that they've determined, this is the typical correction that it would need. The lens that I used was my Tokina 11-16 f2.8, and you can see it has, some different ones here. Mine is a Nikon one. You can see they're all pretty much the same for at least this lens, but you can also go over to your manual setting here, and you can kind of distort or conform the image to the way that you want it to be. These sliders all do different things, and you can see here as I play around with it, we really stretch the image out or bring it back, bring it kind of in tight here. I like to click this constrain to crop thing, and you can see when I do that, everything stays within my crop. So if I really want to distort the image and kind of stretch it out, I can do that, but the overall crop stays fairly much the same. Then the vertical slider, again, it will control kind of how the image is tilted on a vertical axis, so to speak. So picture a piece of paper in front of you. If you kind of lean it towards you, that's kind of how this works. And then if you go the other direction, it's almost like you're leaning you're pulling the bottom towards you, and the back's kind of going away from you. So I'm going to kind of just go very, very small on that particular one. And then the horizontal one, very similar, but it does it with the sides of the image, so you're kind of rotating on a horizontal axis here. And again, I'm just going to go with a very small move to the left on this one. And then your rotate slider here will control the rotation of the image. So if your horizon's a little off, you can kind of change that a little bit. And then your scale slider controls basically the size of the image. If you want to zoom way in or come out a little bit, you can do that. I'm really not going to touch that too much. And then below that you have lens vignetting here. You can add that here, or you can come down and add it with the effects tab. It really doesn't matter how you want to go about adding it, or if you want to add it at all. It's, your choice. But we're getting close to a final image here. You can see now, with all those things done to this, it might be a little bit better, it might not be. It's really up to your own discretion. One thing I am going to do is add another gradient filter in here, and I am going to add a little bit more exposure to the foreground, a little highlight detail, maybe a little shadow, something like this. I'm just gonna maybe even add a little extra warmth to that foreground, make it a little warmer there. So something like that. That's kind of a cool final image here. Here's our before image and our after image. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will try really hard to get another one up next week. But if not, I will get one up very soon, within at least a couple weeks. Thank you for watching. Again, your views and your comments, your likes, they all help keep me motivated and keep me wanting to do this, so keep them coming. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.